What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Life BBQ Podcast, coming to you live from the Uncle Steve Steak Studios in Center Bondstead, New Hampshire. It's the podcast where we talk everything barbecue and a lot of other topics that you normally talk around a pit. Ooh, easy for me to say. Yes, I know I'm late. All you boys are telling me we had a little echo issue, believe it or not, an echo on my show. Amazing. But we got it all settled down, so let's go. It's going to be a great episode tonight, boys. Tonight's episode brought to you by Uncle Steve Shake. Oh, what can I say about Uncle Steve? Everyone's favorite uncle. 18 amazing flavors. From the original, the spicier, the Gator Shake, the competition line, Magic Ribs, Mi Amigo, Dessert Shake. He's got it all. And he does it all. He wears all the hats. He's mixing the shake. He's bottling it. He's taking orders. He's shipping orders. He's answering phone calls. He's answering emails. If you have a question, contact him. If he has a question about your order, he might contact you and you'll speak to the man himself. Always willing to have a conversation with you to work out whatever flavor profile you're trying to achieve. All the shakes handmade using the finest ingredients, all small batch. So if you place an order today, he will get that order out to you within the next day or two, and it will be made that day. Nothing's ever sitting around on the shelves. Very small batch, but the bullseye is on quality, and he always insists on getting you the freshest shake he can possibly do. Absolutely incredible. Follow him, at UncleSteveShake.com and on Facebook, Uncle Steve Shake Nation. Uncle Steve Shake, shake some on everything. Also brought to you by Joe's Meat Market, the Diamond of Royce City, Texas. Oh, man, Gabriel and his crew doing an amazing job. Incredible meat selection. You want a specific thickness, he's got you covered. Are you looking for a particular cut he might not have? He'll work with you to get it in. Always trying to make you happy. Fresh produce brought in daily. For all us comp guys and backyard warriors, got us covered too. Rubs, sauces, injections, smoky wood products, splits, chips, chunks, pellets, his old Joe's Meat Market line of seasonings, brand new, past 2 weeks or so. And while you're there, you're feeling a little hungry, he's got you covered there too. Gabriel's mom's behind the counter, whipping up some of the freshest, authentic Mexican cuisine out there. So stop on in, grab a plate, grab your supplies for the weekend, sit down, make a new lifelong friend talking about our passion. That's Joe's Meat Market, Royce City, Texas. And remember, hashtag Joe's Meat Market for the win. Also brought to you by the Champions BBQ Alliance. Big Dog Sauce Company and Matt's Backyard Barbecue present the New England CBA Triple Crown, bringing Texas and New England together for the ultimate barbecue showdown. A 3-state high-stakes competition across Vermont, Rhode Island, and New Hampshire. Do you have what it takes to dominate the Champions BBQ Alliance's 4 meat competition? Chicken, ribs, pork, and brisket, and claim the Triple Crown? How about showing your skills in some jackpots, including dessert, chef's choice, sausage, and steak? Calling all young pitmasters, the Kids Q jackpot gives the next generation of barbecue legends a chance to show off their skills. Join the fiercest pitmasters as they fire up the smokers, lay down the rubs, and showcase their best. 3 states, 3 epic showdowns, 1 champion. These sponsors are bringing the heat with prizes including a guaranteed $10,000 payout for the Vermont competition and some unique trophies. Whether you're competing or coming to judge the feast, don't miss this barbecue lovers paradise. Oh, all right, all right. Good stuff. Let's see who is in the chat. I know Dutch was in there earlier. He is excused. He was doing a very special interview with my boys, Jeff and Len, from the Baseball and Barbecue podcast tonight. So he was there early. Bat, what's happening? Tom's Food Factory, what's going on, brother? Brother Steven, all the way from Trinidad and Tobago. Where is it? There's Daddy Dutch. Friggin' late like Norms. Of course. Do you expect anything less? Matt Pereira, what's up, brother? Tom, Junior Salinas, Big Salinas Barbecue in the house. Uncle Steve himself, Judge Wep, Anthony from Fire Cups. What's up, brother? Tim Rogers up to BBQ. What's happening? And hey, there's Jeff Cohen. What's happening, baby? Unfortunately, I am not coming to Long Island. It's the little man's birthday, the 15th, so got to be around for that. But man, I'm hearing good things about this. We're gonna find out more, and I'm already wishing I was there. But guys, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Like we always say, you can't start the barbecue week unless you start on Monday. So let's go, guys. Tonight we are talking about the National Barbecue Festival being held in Long Island, New York at Eisenhower Park on June 13th through the 15th. And we are talking to the 2 of the gentlemen involved. One has been involved with it for quite a long time, and the other is new to the game but has the passion to bring this to a whole nother level. So, guys, without any further ado, from Barbecue News Magazine, the NBBQA, Mr. Kell Phelps and Mr. Mike McCarthy. What's up, boys?
What's up, Johnny Mags? Man, listen, sounds like Uncle Steve, man. He needs to move to South Georgia. I need him in my backyard, man. That's some cool stuff there, man.
Great stuff. Great quality products. You know, it's always fresh, always good, incredible stuff. And he's always thinking. He's like a mad scientist. Calls me out of the blue. Hey, what do you think about this? Give it a shot. Run it. Send us a sample, and we'll figure it out from there. You know, open that door and step on through. I ship to Georgia all the time. Attaboy, Steve.
Gotta get him out. Coming to Long Island?
Yeah, you never know. He's a man of the world, for sure.
Man of the world.
Oh, but guys, thank you so much for taking the time to join me tonight to talk about this incredible event coming up. We're all familiar with Kell. So, Kell, if you don't mind, we're going to start with Mike, get a little introduction, and introduce him to the crew.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, first of all, for having us on here. This is awesome. We actually met Kell, about 2 years ago, Kell? Year and a half or so?
Yep.
We have a marketing agency called RRDA LI based out of Nassau County, Long Island. So we work on some marketing for Smoke Slam out in Memphis. So we actually met Kell through that event, which is tremendous. I mean, I heard so many great things coming this year. I mean, just great stuff they're doing. So we met Kell through the event, and it's kind of twofold. So as a marketing agency, we are the tourism and promotions agency for Nassau County, Long Island. So we're always looking for cool events to bring to the county. Then meeting Kell through Smoke Slam, he was telling us about the National BBQ Festival, and we're like, wait a second, this is perfect. So we got to talking, and Nassau has everything we need for the event. I mean, tremendous team out there. Everyone's on board. County Executive Bruce Blakeman, Darcy Bellier. I mean, everyone's on board. So really, whatever we need for the event, we have it. So talking to Kell, he was telling us all about it, the work he's done on it, and we're like, hey, let's make this thing happen.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So yeah, how did you get involved with Smoke Slam? From being at a Nassau County, New York, and traveling down to Memphis.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So from a marketing agency standpoint, we work with a ton of clients, right? Across, the food and bev space, tech, you name it. And a lot of the state and local government side as well. So really it happened to be, if I'm not mistaken, a former client was, in touch with Smoke Slam in a sense. And then they brought us together and they said, hey, we're running this event next year. Can you help us out? And then that's how we jumped in, and it's been great ever since. And I mean, we saw the success they had last year, and that was incredible. I mean, first year event out in Memphis, and they absolutely killed it. So it's only growing from there. And again, it was just, the stars aligned, and we met Kell, and it was like, this is perfect. So, and like you said, you've known Kell forever. Unbelievable person. I mean, it's, there's not many like him. So to have him, us kind of stumble together, it's beautiful. Yeah. So,
I've been telling everybody all week, and I couldn't believe it. There were people who weren't exactly familiar with Kell. And I go, let me put it this way. The simplest way to explain Mr. Kell Phelps is, if the world of barbecue has a pulse, Kell has his finger on it. I'm still trying to come up with a name, because the godfather of barbecue is taken by Mr. Johnny Trigg. But anything barbecue really kind of has to go through Kell. In one way, shape, or form, Kell gets it. Between the websites, the magazine, all the events, every sanctioning body, all the cooks, Kell is barbecue. You really are.
Jeez, man, you guys keep on. Yeah. My head's not going to fit on this little camera thing. I mean, you're going to see it blow up, but oh my gosh, man, we are blessed. There's no doubt to be hanging with the barbecue family for like 35 years now. And even before that, I worked behind the scenes with it when Dad and Doc Gillis were doing the magazine and stuff, but yeah, man, we're definitely honored and blessed to be have the end and the know about what's going on. Hopefully, there's a lot now. I mean, it's so big now till I can't. There's some things that pop up that I didn't know about. The actual event you just talked about earlier, that you guys are having in the Northeast, I knew about that from the NEBS stuff, and some of those guys.
Yep.
Bringing in the cab guys from Texas, but there's a lot of stuff now that I kind of get caught last minute by or whatever, like everybody else. But no, man, we are honored with the National BBQ Festival. We started that thing in 2002, ran it for about 10 years here in the state of Georgia, in my 10,000 population hometown. We would bring in about 50,000 a year down to this thing, and just gridlock town, and it was it was a cool gig for sure.
Yeah.
But my dad come diagnosed with a kidney disease, and that's where we decided to kind of put things on hold for a little while. He was a major player as far as helping us get the logistics and all that stuff worked out with the city and the county, and you guys know there's so many details. Mike and those guys are like getting baptized by fire when we have like 4-hour conversations about you're gonna need this, you're gonna need cans, you're gonna need ash cans, you're gonna need grease cans, it just goes on and on and on, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
think it never really ends, because then when we get done with the first one, then we start tweaking it and then make it even better. But we decided to stop. My dad passed 2013, and we all talked about it and just decided that if we brought it back, it needed to be in a ideal location where it could grow and really
Yeah.
turn into what we saw it happening. But fast forward to last year working with Smoke Slam and seeing Mike and that crew that they work with is just they are marketing gurus, man. I mean, really, to do what they did at Smoke Slam, I just watched the numbers and all the stuff happening there. I knew we had the right partners when we started talking about doing a festival with those guys, and not to even mention Nassau County. I mean, we've known Nassau County for a while. Even when I was doing an internship at 19 years old in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey, just out of Wayne, and we would go to the beach there a couple of times. So always known about that place, and it's always been a cool place. But the part that the event's actually being at is unbelievable. I told the baseball barbecue guys the other day we may turn it in and have the barbecue Olympics at that place. I mean, it's so huge. I mean, the potential is it's unbelievable at what we could turn that into. But
Yeah, it's amazing. So, Mike, in the promotions and everything you do, when you got into with the Smoke Slam, was that the first barbecue event you guys, I guess, got into?
I would say as a team, yes, but everyone on the team, except for myself, all came from the publishing world. So the Big Apple barbecue events, and really the team is full of marketers and people that handled events for the last 20 plus years. But I would say as this agency, yes, but as a whole, no. So I mean, everyone's been handling events since, they were out of college. So for the past 25, 30 years, they've been running events. So they have a good grip on it. And it's just great to have Kell here because, again, those details that he's just a book of knowledge, right? When I was at the Houston cook-off a few weeks ago, I thought I was with the president. Everyone was like, "Hey, Kell, what's going on?" And I'm like, why do you know everyone? So it's just great to have. So it's like we're bringing these two teams together, and it works perfect.
Yeah.
What he's not going to tell you is he saw people shooting at me when I left. He didn't tell that part, but
I didn't see that.
Oh, but yeah, when you're into stuff like this, and the world of barbecue comes across, your plate there. There was probably a few people who sat there and scratched their heads, going, "What are we talking about here? Guys burning meat in parking lots? What?" It's an interesting thing, and then you get into it, and you're like, "Oh wow!" And like you said, the little things, like Kell, you were saying earlier, an ash disposal, a grease disposal, you don't even think of that stuff,
right,
because it's all got to go somewhere.
Right.
but it's those little things that put into an event, and you just said so this was the first time you've experienced the animal called Houston Livestock and Rodeo?
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. I was telling Kell, I'm like, man. And a few weeks back, we were at the shed, and I was like, this is the
Yeah.
coolest place I've ever been to in the world. But yeah, it was like the Olympics. You walk in, and I was telling my friend a story. I told my wife I was leaving, and I was staying at the hotel right across the street. And she calls me 30 minutes later. You're still there? I don't know how to get out of here. This place is huge. But it was incredible, and met so many great people out there. And that's the one thing about the barbecue world is just the people are incredible. I tied a lot back to baseball. It's romantic, right? Like you just said, they see people just grilling meat on, it's like they see people hitting a ball with a stick. What's the big deal? But it's romantic. There's this beauty to it, and I just love that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And up here in New England, it's we're not known for barbecue. We are growing exponentially, and we got a lot of killer big time cooks up here. I think New England was represented by 6 or 7 teams at the Jack Daniel's Invitational this year, which was crazy, and
well, my gosh, man. Listen, man, when you start talking about those guys in the Northeast, I mean so just so you know, you already got Bill Gillespie's already signed up. He's ready to roll. You got Mo Cason. So it to me, it's not a shock when you see these guys come from the Northeast, and we've been watching these guys for years. Fireflies, all those guys used to come down, and man, they would bring a big hammer with them, and they were always walking. They're always walking with awards. So, for me, I don't know. I've always known those guys cook lights out. HPBA did a deal, and I don't know if you're familiar with this, 12, 15 years ago. They did a report trying to see who barbecued the most in the country. New England folks, hands down, barbecued more times per week, 365 days a year than anywhere else in the rest of the country, no matter if it was snowing, whatever. That's when somebody's die hard right there. So, and we all know it takes a lot of practice to get. So, I guess the rest of the country probably says, a bunch of Yankees, they don't know what the hell they doing or whatever, And I'm telling you, by God, they do. They'll come and you'll sit and watch them walk up and down the aisle to go get their money if you ain't careful, for sure. If you ain't got your A game.
There's not a lot of guys who can say, I cooked a handful of briskets today in 0-degree weather.
And they done a heck of a job doing it too, I guarantee you.
in typical New England, in a pair of shorts and a hoodie.
There you go.
But where I was going with that is a lot of the events around everywhere are normally pretty much closed events. It's the teams, the promoters, judges. That's pretty much it. You'll have people who catch wind of it, of where the event's being held, and people will show up and walk around, and they're all looking for a little sample and all that stuff, which really doesn't happen a lot, except on a festival like we're talking about this evening. A lot of the events up this way, we've this year are going to be connected with festivals. So there's going to be a lot of the cooks are going to be vending and everything on Saturdays, and a couple other, food trucks, things like that. So to really get the communities involved. because they would the response from the communities were huge. Hey, we want to come check this out. We see these rigs and trailers driving down Main Street going, what the heck is this thing? And then you smell it and, you're walking around. So you guys have brought it up from all those years down in Douglas to Long Island. What is everybody expecting, I suppose? Like I said, I heard you guys, listened to you guys this past Saturday when you guys were on with Len and Jeff from Baseball and Barbecue. And obviously the competition, live entertainment, beer gardens, wine tastings, a kids area, food trucks, vendors. You guys got all the bases covered. So let's give everybody the complete rundown of this event on June 13th through the 15th.
Well, man, I tell you, we're going to start it on Thursday as teams roll in. Everybody's going to get fed. I have no idea. It'll be something probably Long Islandish, I would guess. But it's going to be just like we used to do in Douglas, man. Everybody is a king when they come, whether you're competing or whether you're part of the public side of it. But it'll start Thursday night with a cooked dinner, whatever. Everybody shake hands and relax for a little bit before the fun starts really happening. And then Friday we'll kick in. We've got SCA coming to help us with a couple of steak cook-offs. We'll do a double event there on Friday with some ancillaries, of course, the meatballs. I'm learning, man. I'm trying to learn that Northeast slang there, but I have to get Johnny Maggs to give me some tips and some tricks one day. But but meatball, Long Island iced tea. We're doing wings, appetizers. So something that anybody there locally can get into as well.
Okay.
And so that'll happen on Friday. And of course, Friday afternoon, we're going to have live fire going. We've got 5 or 6 guys coming to do live fire that will be doing samples, much like what we did at Smoke Slam. But here's the deal, man. This is what NBBQA has figured out. For 35 years, we have been going around and watching people come to those events, much like you talked about. People see the rigs and all that. They smell and they see, but they can't eat, can't taste, and cannot experience what is actually happening. That is what the National Barbecue Festival was made for, was for people to experience what a real barbecue lifestyle is all about. And yet, Long Island, that's it, my man. Long Island.
Long Island.
Killing me. Long Island. Yeah, that's it. So
you're getting there. You're getting there.
So with that going on Friday and Saturday, man, if you come to that event and you buy a ticket to come into the barbecue side of it, and you're not happy, you don't get enough samples, you don't feel like you got your money's worth, I will personally come and give your money back to you. That's going to be the deal, is to create an experience that has never, a lot of these people have never seen, never had the opportunity to partake of there in Long Island. So that'll be probably 65% of what we're doing. Nassau County, oh my gosh, they do free concerts anyway. So those concerts, people coming to those concerts can go to the concert, have a good time, watch, and not pay a dime if that's what they want to do. But there'll be some barbecue vendors up there, slinging stuff, probably trying to get some Rib Fest guys there who do massive amounts of barbecue on a normal basis. So that those guys will be there as well. Um, but Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if you're just a spectator and want to come and see what Barbecue World's all about, taste it, experience it, learn tips and tricks, um, Meathead will be there signing books. You know, Tuffy Stone will be there hanging out with us, doing some tips and tricks, just backyard stuff. And you know, if you want to get a book signed, that's cool too, or whatever. But um, and then the competition side, you know, the competition world's really, really um, scratching their heads on $100,000 payout
Yeah.
combined for Friday and Saturday. But that's it, man. I mean, that was what we missed here in Douglas. You know, we didn't have the huge sponsorships and all that to come up with a huge prize money. I think we paid $30,000 for an invitational and another $20,000 for an open. But these guys have stepped the bar up and really, really showcasing what true all-star barbecues is all about, and that's where we get the opportunity to have the rules as far as what we did at the National Barbecue Festival.
Hmm.
We just back then we made a set of rules that it didn't matter where you come from. If you come from California, Texas associations, Florida, Mid Atlantic, it did not matter. Pacific Northwest, any of those guys who had an organization and sanctioning events, these rules made you feel like you were cooking your home event. So
Hmm.
it's 5 categories: chicken, ribs, pork, brisket, and then the whole hog. So even the Memphis guys can get in on the deal. And
Yeah.
cooks can only cook their three. They have to pick their
Okay.
three events, and that's it. We add up those overall scores from those 3 categories, and that's where we get our overall grand champion from.
Okay. Beautiful. So there's no official sanctioning body. The sanctioning body is National Barbecue Festival.
Exactly. And if our dream comes true, which we've got enough hard workers in this group, um, we're not going to start a sanction organization. I can promise you that. We won't do that. But if there's a big enough stage in another town that wants to host a barbecue festival, we may entertain packing this thing up on the road and setting up in Phoenix, Arizona, or Dallas, Texas, or something like that. So I can tell you this: the 2026 event is already set in the calendar there in Nassau County.
Yeah.
And we'll probably bring back the best of the best invitational, which will bring the top 10 teams from every organization across the country in there to compete. And that'll probably be your big prize money next year. But we just wanted to make sure everybody got a chance to come and see what the Long Island, Nassau County was offering in the realm of the barbecue world, and it will hopefully become uh, the major Northeast event before we're done. So
Very good. Yes, Daddy Dutch. Even Iowa. So
yes,
a boy
yes,
from Iowa will feel right at home, not intimidated. He's good. Len Hollywood Aberman, what's up, brother? Hello, Johnny, Kell, and Mike. Yes, Lamar's Iowa represented for sure. Big Rome, what's up? Joe's Meat Market, what's happening? Big Randy, Big Salinas Barbecue, the other half. What's happening, guys? Yeah, this is going to be into. So you were saying, Meathead's coming in, Tuffy Stone. I heard Al Fragoni's going to be doing a bunch of live fire stuff, which
Yes.
that alone's going to blow people's minds of
Yes.
those live fire. Some of those live fire setups are crazy.
It's crazy good too. Absolutely.
Oh, that's for sure. Logistics wise, Mike. Did you guys come up with any speed bumps or little curveballs here and there with getting it all put together?
You know what? Surprisingly, not really. Just because we have, with the way the county's been working with us, they made it very easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So coming to them and saying, hey, we're looking for X, Y, and Z, or can you point us in the right direction for this? They made it very easy to work with. And then again, anything that, was a speed bump on our side, we just went to Kell and he's like, oh, I gotcha. Like, oh, that was easy.
Most of the big speed bumps that we talking about or whatever, the county has stepped up and just done, tremendous job. I mean, those guys, now you want to talk about some pull. I mean, those guys had a press conference. It looked like the other day something the president would be standing in front, the folded flags, and Mike, what is it? 4 million, almost 4 million views now from all of that.
Oh, I mean, on Monday, we were at 15 million impressions. So it got picked up. I mean, it was after the first 3 days, it was at like 4 or 5 million. And then over the weekend, it just picked up. I mean, I think you have to look at it too from a sense that, again, there's a ton of great events up in the Northeast, but in Nassau County, right? It's new.
Yeah.
Something different. So to them, everyone's picking it up, and it's been great. I mean, just a response from a ticket side, even before we announced tickets, people were picking them up, and we're like, I don't know if that was supposed to happen, but I guess we'll take it.
Yeah.
And as Kell mentioned, the teams, I mean, it's been tremendous. And, the businesses in Nassau County have been jumping in to support. So it's just been you really couldn't ask for anything better. We've been very fortunate to have that support, especially from the county and those teams coming in. But it's only going to continue to grow as we start really, pushing it out there more. Because really this week is the first week that we're really starting to, ramp it up and get it out there.
Okay. One question that a bunch of guys have asked me, and are obviously, like we were saying, the people see us pulling into town with our tow behinds, our trailers, our rigs themselves. And a lot of these guys have, driven in, major metropolises. New York's a bit of a different animal. And they were asking me, because I had brought my rig up from Austin. I had a custom rig built down there. And I was coming through New Jersey, New York, late at night, actually. So it was a little bit easier. I go, it can get so tight. Have anybody asked you guys about that, or, the best ways to potentially get some of these rigs? Now, I'm not familiar with Long Island itself. The only place I've really been and spend any time is the Bronx. And at that point, it was a charter bus to the Yankee Stadium, and I was drinking beer for 3 days. I didn't have to do much.
My kind of event right there, buddy.
Yeah.
That's it. Any speed bumps, add more ice.
I mean, to tell you the truth, any of the teams, if they have any questions, need any support, reach out to us. We'll jump on the phone with you. We'll text you. We'll email, whatever's easiest for you. We want to make this experience as frictionless as possible for the teams. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. I mean, we want to make sure that they have a great experience. They enjoy their time at the event, and they want to come back again next year. So if they have any questions at all, they can reach out and we'll get right back to them.
So it's funny you mentioned that, Johnny Mags. You must have been in my back pocket while we were there at Texas Speedway. But we had a couple of guys ask us, and we've got to bring it up. So our weekly meetings we've been doing are on Thursday. Somebody asked about, well, hey, look, what if I put my drums on a pallet, and is there a place I could ship them to? And I said, I guarantee you, without a doubt, that would be an easy way to not bring a trailer or whatever. So we're in the middle of that. But I will say this: there ain't nothing that we won't do to try to get you there. Whether that's put it on a FedEx truck or whatever, I think we'll do whatever we can to help anybody get there for sure. And this crew in the county is that dedicated to making it happen. So that's the key to the whole deal. So,
I was actually speaking with a gentleman this morning, and he was saying if he was to go, and I don't even know if it's possible, but he said it is, so it must work. He was talking about putting his rig on a ferry from Connecticut to Long Island.
Yep.
He goes, it's a bit more cost, but you go right to the island and just drive across. I'm like, well, I guess, that'll work. So there's many ways to get this done. And I think we're going to come, barbecue guys, I think you're going to see every angle covered.
What? In the first couple of years, block party, getting to witness how those guys got rigs in. I was tremendous at seeing how frugal those guys were, and so now I hadn't drove up that way in a long time, but I do think that most barbecue guys, they have that mindset of I'm going to get there no matter what. So they'll figure it out. But what they need to know is we'll help them any way we can. We'll pull anything out of our pockets if we can, and certainly try to get anybody there that we can for sure. But going back to the Big Apple block party, I got to say, when Mike and his crew, we were talking about this, and they were like, yeah, we used to work at the magazine, and we did this for the block party, and we were there at the block party. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that at least, if you were ever part of that or ever got to see, just witness that, oh my gosh, being able to understand how big that was as far as in the barbecue world, and knowing that some of this staff that's working with us has prepared and helped publicize that event back in the day, man, I'm not saying there's no way we'll ever duplicate that. I don't think that would be. I don't think that's the goal, to create a deal like that, because that was just a whole animal of another breed there for sure. But to have an experience much that people have never seen, never got to partake, and for, like I said, 30-something years, I've watched people show up at barbecue events and leave ticked off, boy, because they didn't get any barbecue, and they smelled it and looked at it, but they didn't get to taste it. So that's going to change with the barbecue festival, no doubt.
Yeah, the times are changing towards that for sure. And Jeff has said yes, the Port Jefferson ferry from Bridgeport, Connecticut to Port Jefferson, Long Island. You can put the rigs right on there and drops you right at the front door. That's a fantastic thing. and Daddy Dutch. So, Mags, do you have a Weber Smoky Mountain or drum for me? What's the exact date? Well, if you see that little banner that's cruising across the screen there, June 13th through the 15th, I think is pretty self-explanatory, brother. I know you Iowa guys take a minute. It's all that corn you guys are eating out there or drinking, however you want to do it. Anyway, and I promised him I wasn't going to break his balls, but he's my brother, and I'd lay down for him. So I couldn't help myself. You were right, Dutch. I cannot help myself. I don't have a drum or a Weber Smoky Mountain, but I have an old-fashioned Brinkman bullet, the first ever smoker I ever had, still on the other side of that door right there. You are welcome to have it, brother. For sure. So
nice.
Hey, Chef Johnny, what's up? Well, he doesn't read much, Mags. Thank you, Chef. I appreciate you. Chef's on my back tonight. And we're all friends.
Well,
we all
friends
love
like
each other,
that, man,
believe
you
it or
don't
not.
need no enemies.
Oh, absolutely. Chef, don't start. There you go. So the outreach, by the sounds of it, has been fantastic. So, like I said, I heard you guys with Len and Jeff this weekend, and I know an idea of how they do it. So you had said that the tickets had gone on sale that week. So they've probably been on sale about 2 weeks now, maybe?
Yeah, I believe it was Monday the 5th, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So been on about 2 weeks now. So, really saw those pick up, and I mean, it's just been tremendous. Again, I think it's interesting because it seems like there's a hunger for it in that area. And we're just getting so many people coming in and picking up these tickets, businesses coming up and buying tickets for their employees, and it's going to be exciting. So I'm excited for Friday night to see that turnout, and I really think Saturday is going to be the big day. But Friday, I mean, Father's Day, so it's all about family, and the competition will be over by then, but everyone coming out, enjoying the music, the demos, the food, the beer garden. So it'll be a great experience. But it's been tremendous so far.
Now, what are the price ranges on the tickets, and are there like different packages for a single day, all 3 days? A family package, if you will.
Absolutely. So, general admission, that's 1 day pass, that's $40. Kids 3 to 13, $20, and then kids 2 and under are free. Yeah. And then we do have our multi-day packages, which knocks off a few dollars. But then we also have our VIP side, which those are about $150. And that really just gives you access to more of, get involved with those demos. You do your wine pairings with the demos. We'll have the concerts at night, so they'll have their section where they can get, closer to the stage and all that. So different options. But we're also running a ton of promotions. So realistically, those general admission tickets are going for, let's call it $30, right? And again, unlimited samples. So we think it's a great deal because you could show up hungry and you can leave, spend the whole entire day, enjoy the barbecue, enjoy a show, and you leave full.
Nice. So you've seen a lot of purchases and interest from the Nassau County area. How has the outreach been from the other states rolling in?
Yeah, we've seen a lot from the tri-state, which is that was very nice to see. So Connecticut, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. We even had a few messages coming in from Ireland and all that, asking about the event. So to us, that's incredible. I mean, to have people coming in from essentially around the world to come to this event is fantastic. But just seeing that tri-state area and seeing, the amount of tickets coming from Pennsylvania and Massachusetts, even, it's like people are coming to the event. So it's nice. It's nice to see. And I think, we're working a lot, with the school districts as well in Nassau. So we're offering them, instead of doing car washes for the debate club, or, hey, we want to do a trip somewhere, they can sell our tickets and get, let's call it $10 a ticket back. So it's a nice little fundraiser for them. So it's only going to grow. And again, we're just picking up these promotions. We're just picking up everything. So Kell, it's you and me now. We got the show.
That could be fairly dangerous, couldn't it?
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Oh, mercy. Yeah, man. So, 1.8 million people.
Hey, we were a host
Nassau
for
County.
a minute.
Hey, that's all right. It was in good hands. It just kicked out on me. And so it went blank. Something went wrong. I'm like, shit. But yeah.
Like, Johnny Maggs, you're a brave man. You're a brave man just turning this loose, man. We may run it like a big shark on a line. You never know, right?
Kell, I could tell you stories offline that will. Woo! There was one night. It was me, one person who was in this chat, and another gentleman were on someone else's live feed, and they had hopped off, so we were just in the back of it, not live or anything. And man, the chat clicked something new, and man, we thought we were still live, and we called him because we thought we were gonna be put under the jail for the stuff we were talking about that night. Ooh, mama. Oh, but Chef Johnny, needless to say, guys, it's been a lot. It's been held in a lot worse hands. Don't worry about it. Sounds like an event the ultimate beef-loving Texan needs to be at. Can I stay with you, Max?
Yeah.
Chef, do you need to ask? The door's open.
What?
And if anybody wants to see the ultimate beef-loving Texan belt buckle, Chef will be plenty happy to show you.
Where's
He
Chef
shows
Johnny
it-
from? What city?
Just outside of San Antonio.
Oh, okay. I'm down. I'm actually, so not only am I the only one that's not from publishing on the team, I'm the only one outside of the Long Island area. So I'm down in McAllen, Texas.
Okay.
So I'll go hang out with Chef Johnny.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, he had won that competition last year, and it was great to see him on the shows and everything and doing his thing. So, Chris Sutton, what's up? So there's weekly meetings. Things keep popping up, but by the sounds of it, everybody involved, from promoters, publicists, the town themselves, and everybody in between, is all in the same direction, which is an incredible thing to see. And at sometimes, especially on a magnitude of an event like this, doesn't always happen, I suppose, that everybody is all in the same direction. Let's go. Let's get this done. So that is awesome. Right off the bat, that's a full success.
Well, I got to tell you, man, the plus side of doing this for 10 years, and my notebook's a little out of reach right there, but we got a notebook that's about that thick, this thick, full of notes we always intended to bring that event back. So we never did away with any of the material that we did, whether it was tweaks or anything that we did. So we've got the handbook or manual per se of everything we did back for 10 years doing that event.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say it won't be totally different, because it will be totally different, because this is not Coffee County, Douglas, Georgia. that was my hometown I grew up in, and yeah, I mean, if you needed a starter on a '69 Chevrolet, I knew exactly where to get it. Our deal is now we're using Mike and all his crew and the Nassau County crew for all of that backstage and all that help coming for the teams and people visiting. And man, who can't? We got to talk about the judges too, because
Yeah.
this weekend, oh my gosh, we were in Texas and I think we had like 6 sign up right there on the spot. They were like, "Oh my gosh, this is the old festival you did." Yeah, yeah, yeah. So a couple of them from Tennessee, I think, and maybe 1 or 2 from down there in Texas. But they signed right up, and that's the key for us when we do this festival. If we got teams coming from all over, man, we got to have judges from all over so that everybody gets a fair shake, and I say a fair shake, but you don't want to go into an event not knowing where all your judges are from, right? So
Yeah.
those guys coming that are cooking, I guarantee you from um, Texas to run that event will taste stuff totally different um, from the Northeast guys than what they usually eat down there in Texas.
Hmm.
Um, so knowing that their judges are probably coming from the Northeast, they may change I guarantee you they're going to change up what they do a good bit. But with us, we're going to have guys from all over the place. So you better do what you normally do because you don't know. There may be a Texas guy, California guy, a Northeast guy, and a Puerto Rican guy sitting at the table. When we get to us, we just want to have a big mold of everything for sure. So
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh man, this is going to be great. Like I said, I had reached out to you, Kel, a couple weeks ago, and going, "Hey, I know I heard about this festival before," and then someone said, "You're involved." I'm like, "Is this? Yeah, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back." I'm like, "Oh, that's incredible." Because it's been a good 10 years, right? Maybe a
right.
hair more since the
I think it's
last
been
one.
11. I think it's 11 years. Because we had it in November.
Mhm.
So we're going to summertime now instead of the end of the year deal. But um, it's been 11 years since we did it. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, obviously, there's social media pages for the festival. What's the website?
It's nationalbarbecuefest.com. I
So
have
it's
a little
National, yeah,
I have a
BBQ.
visitor here
BBQ
with me right
Fest.
now.
Yeah. Oh, hey, listen.
nationalbbqfest.com.
Yeah. You better take care of that little visitor, man. You blink, they'll be grown for long. So
That's for sure. That's for sure. And you can get all the information, ticket sales. Can you, if you're a team looking to compete, can you sign up at the
Abs-
all under one webpage?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. So teams, vendors, tickets, all right there.
Oh,
judges, those
fantastic.
guys can
Judges.
not get signed up right there too. Yep, absolutely.
Nice. Oh, this is gonna be great.
Different.
Long, definitely, definitely,
Yeah.
and from what I hear, from Len and Jeff, the park itself is huge, so there is
Yeah.
plenty of room for expansion, right?
Tons.
To
Tons.
go bigger.
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm telling you guys, when we went and looked at this thing, it took us we showed up on January 2nd to kind of make the final decision of where we were going to host it at. And first place we went is where we wound up doing it. But from there, you can throw, I mean, if you threw a baseball, there's 8 different directions you could throw that ball, and there's another field or another parking lot or another deal
Oh, wow.
where you could have something else going on all at the same time. So,
Oh, that's incredible.
They actually held the Cricket World Cup there last year. I mean, we're talking millions of people went to
Yeah.
that.
Oh, wow.
they actually built
Wow.
a stadium that held 38,000,
It was
something
crazy.
35,000, something like. They built a temporary stadium right there, and that was, I mean, that's how important Nassau County believes and understands how big events are. I mean, they brought this world cricket tournament in,
Yeah.
and spent a ton of money to create it, but in the end, it it brought in a ton of people. I didn't realize cricket is the number one sport and the most viewed sport in the world.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
wild.
I had no idea. So, but yeah, that just shows you how serious Nassau County takes their
Yeah.
events when they do an event. And I trust me, man, we did about 2 weeks of digging really deep because we were like, yeah, we know the place and let's really see what could happen. And when we looked at the park, it was like there's like 3 golf courses or something there. But when we saw, we're cooking meat in a parking lot, right? The majority of the time. But when you saw the different locations of what could be there, it just makes sense, man. And I think they even got the Ryder Cup coming.
Yep, Ryder Cup's coming in September.
Wow.
I mean,
I'm
lot
telling you,
going
these
on.
folks, yeah, and these folks, they know about events. I mean, and that
Yeah.
when we heard that, it's just a no-brainer. I mean, anybody who's questioning, is this event going to be, above board, or is it going to be just, show up and then they turn the water on at Friday morning at, no. When you get there Thursday before you sit and relax, man, we're going to be ready to go. And it's going to be first class, just like it was here. We hosted it in Georgia. I mean, it's, the Southern hospitality is moving north with these guys, no doubt. So.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Len and Jeff said they're going to be available for autograph signings, so they'll have a little booth set up. So stop
my
by
gosh,
down here.
We may overrun all the parking lots now. I mean, that's it. We may have them blocking the streets.
Part of the VIP package right there.
Nice.
That's it.
Nice. Well, guys, thank you so much. That's interesting. I am bummed that there's no way I can make it down there for that. This year anyway. But you guys sound like you got it all lined up, ready to go, and everyone's behind you, and everyone's in the same direction. So, my hat's off to both of you guys for the amount of work, because, just throwing little stuff together is a ton of work. What you
it's
guys
a lot bigger,
doing.
bigger crew than this, man. I mean, it's a huge crew there with Mike and his team, and then the county team. I mean, it really is an army that is dedicated to making this thing happen, and we're excited to be a part of it, man. And we sure will miss you, brother. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I was, and I had to miss Houston this year, unfortunately, too. And the year before, last year, Kell, you and I finally got a chance to meet face to face, which was wonderful. But yeah, definitely for Houston, we'll be back there next year, and hopefully we'll all hook up. We'll have a beverage or two, and we'll solve all the world's problems.
Sounds good to me.
one ice cube at a time.
There we go. Absolutely.
But nationalbbqfest.com is the website. What are the other places, social media handles to find information?
Yeah, National Barbecue Fest on Instagram and Facebook. So we'll be posting constantly, and yeah, check out the website. And again, if you have any questions, our team is on it. So feel free to reach out and we'll get right back to you. So
beautiful, beautiful. Well, Kell and Mike, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. And
Man, thank you, dude.
yeah,
anytime at all. But thank you guys for all tuning in. I appreciate it. Even you, Dutch. I saw that comment. Show just got better for a second. I know. But this is it. See, nothing changes at night on the computer or in the parking lot itself with the fires going. It's all you're not buddies unless your balls are getting busted. So that's the way it goes. But thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. Catch the video on Facebook and YouTube, the audio on all the podcast audio catches and carriers. Any questions, please send them to pitlifebbqpodcast@gmail.com. Like always, subscribe, like, rate, and review. Hit that share button. Next week, I am joined by Matt Messer of Cotton Gin Smokers. So we're gonna talk a little cotton. What you got, Kell?
Man, saw those guys this weekend, and actually, Aaron Norris actually finaled in the rib deal. So those guys are coming to New York. They'll be there. So you guys looking for drum smokers or whatever, there's none better than what you'll have there with the Cotton Gin crew. Ask them. They may loan a couple out for demos or something. You never know.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so that's what's happening next week. Like I said, thank you all for tuning in. Enjoy your barbecue week. And until next week, keep the smoke rolling.